On September the 11th, 2001, after two planes had already struck the Twin Towers, the call went out. A commercial airliner was flying low, not responding to radio calls, and headed directly for D.C. At Andrews Air Force Base, General Mark Sassville, call sign Sass, and his wingman, Heather Penny, call sign Lucky, knew immediately what that meant. They said, "We weren't going to sit on the ground and get hit again. We could not let another plane hit its target." But here's the thing. They weren't on alert status. Their base wasn't tasked to defend America that morning. They had no missiles on board, no combat rounds, only training ammunition. They scrambled without checking their gear, without authorization, and without a plan. They just trusted their instincts, their training, their crew chiefs, and they went. Air traffic controllers in the area, civilian controllers, learned how to speak Air Force on the fly to help guide them. And the pilots came up with the only plan they could. Sass would take the cockpit, Lucky would take the tail. In other words, they were preparing a suicide mission. They never had to carry it out, because as we all now know, Flight 93 never reached its target. The civilians on board, everyday Americans, took it down themselves. I was in Manhattan on September the 11th. This day will always be solemn, but it is also a day that makes me incredibly proud, because if this story doesn't tell you what Americans are made of, grit, sacrifice, the instinct to protect one another, then I don't know what does. When the enemy is at the door, the best of us will prevail. My faith right now is not in my government. It's not in the media. My faith is in you. Thank you to the men and women of our armed forces. Thank you to first responders. Thank you to my brave fellow Americans. Thank you to my fellow Texans. Look out for one another out there today.